Hello guys, welcome to Study Loop IAS, and as discussed we would be starting with the Western political thinkers today. Now first things first, how will you be using these video lectures as per your convenience? It would be like I would like to see I've made it in such a way that ये जो the subject requires some keywords that needs to be used. So the proper keywords have given it in the form of an outline. So what you can do is, whenever you are watching this lecture series, you can, take your notes, keep in whatever you all must be, whatever are you all of your viewers will be having your own lecture notes with you, obviously. So आप क्या कर सकते हो कि you can just write down this whatever I say or whatever is there in the whatever the keywords are there, you can mark them in your notes or you can just keep them aside and just write down somewhere some these points. जब we will be also be discussing answers, how to write answers for it, because answers लिखना ही सबसे बड़ा important concept होता है यहाँ पे. So वो भी हम discuss करेंगे. So आप क्या कर सकते हैं कि you can just write down when I speak. You can just and in future I'll also be providing these slides in with a Google Drive link, so you can have an access to that also as well, or this would help you in the revision point of view more, and this can be easily availed by both people who are just preparing for the BA or MA, and also people who are giving the UPSC exams prima facie, because unko zyada it will be more beneficial. Now coming to Plato, let's start with the first thinker, Plato. Coming to Plato, Plato was a thinker. He was there in the 427 BC, before Christ we are talking about. So अभी हम सोचेंगे कि why are we why will a person just simply randomly be a thinker, or why and where did he come from, or who was he and what did he do? So let's just get more into it. Plato was a thinker of ancient Greece, basically, Athens. He was from a place called Athens. और उस टाइम पे places नहीं होते थे, उस टाइम पे city states होते थे. There were city states. City states are the primitive form of governments. जो अपने current governments है, we have democracy, the current form of government. And उससे पहले होता था, there were kingdoms, many such kingdoms. Okay, they were empires, they were kingdoms. उससे पहले होते थे city states. So city states was a concept, और वहाँ पे उस टाइम पे the city states में situation ऐसा था कि there was no international politics, no international politics at all. City states थे, उसके अंदर जो भी थे they were confined to it, and जो भी होता था उसके अंदर ही होता था, बाहर से लेना देना कुछ नहीं होता था इनसे. And it was more of ethnocentric. Now, what the word ethnocentric means, in simple, crude language, it means racial discrimination. मैं बड़ा, तू छोटा, ऐसा एक concept होता था. You remember the Harappan civilization, if you have read the citadel. The citadel, the archaeologists do say, the historians do say, that the citadel had a raised place, had a place which was, the citadel was a place where the socially better people, the socially uplifted people who used to stay in the citadel that was in a higher position, and the lower areas were occupied by the common people. And ऐसा तो उस टाइम पे से ही ऐसा एक discrimination होता था, the rich, the poor, the high, the low. It was like that, and that was all about where was Plato was based and who. Plato was an idealist. Some thinkers, they do call him radical and utopian. Now idealist means a person who says कि ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, कि the ideal thing, the top of, or the creamy layer of everything. Utopian is like, utopian is basically, he is called an utopian thinker by more over his critics, because जो हो नहीं सकता, Plato used to say ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, but that thing is just simply unachievable. He was always, that's just achievable only in our dreams. So he was always called as an utopian thinker. And why did Plato give all these things? Basically क्या हुआ था, एक war हुआ था, Peloponnesian War बोलते हैं उसको. Peloponnesian War में क्या हुआ, Athens was defeated very badly by Sparta. आपने देखा होगा, you all of you guys are very famous. They know the war between Athens and Sparta. It's a very famous epic. in our history. So Athens was defeated by Sparta very badly. So naturally, a guy who was from Athens, Plato was from Athens. He wanted to regain the lost glory of his motherland. He wanted to make his city state proud once again. So उसके लिए क्या किया उसने? So he came out with certain theories, certain theories. We'll be discussing about the theories. But how? How did he come up with these theories? He used dialectics. He used a deductive approach. अभी dialectics क्या होता है? Dialectics is simply talk. Talk means बात करो, संवाद. We talk with people. हम किसी और से बात करेंगे. Just like group discussion. We involve in discussion with the group of people. हम अपना perspective रखेंगे, कोई किसी और का अपना perspective रखेगा. And then when we have an opinion of others also, we will realize, okay, there is this side to it. If we like it, we might take it. So Plato used to engage in dialogues with other people, obviously renowned people or people from all walks of life, and then he used to develop his own theories from them, and that's how he gave his theories. So basically Plato was a thinker from 427 BC. He was idealist, he was radical, he was utopian, and he wanted to regain the lost glory of his motherland Athens, for which he gave some theories. Now let's look into his theories. Plato basically gave four theories. The first one was the theory of ideas. Second was the theory of justice. Then for all this, there needs to be some medium to achieve it. That was education. Education was very important for Plato. And the third thing was the theory of the philosopher king. It is one of the, I think it was, way beyond its times. The concept that was given by Plato, the theory of the philosopher king, was really very, though it utopian, though, what do you say, too idealist, but it was way beyond its times, and it is still regarded as many. It is still quoted by many people in current scenarios. Now let's look at his theories one by one, and let's first come to his theory of ideas. Now, when we come to his theory of ideas, there is a person we need to speak about, because that's Socrates. क्योंकि Socrates के बिना बात करें हमें ना प्लेटोस की थियरी समझ में नहीं आएंगे, क्योंकि Socrates was Plato's guru. Plato used to follow Socrates completely. Socrates was a very renowned thinker of his times, and Socrates was very almost, he was, people of that time used to notoriously regard him as a person who used to speak ahead of his times. He was, since he was too radical and he was too outspoken, Socrates, I shouldn't be saying that, but Socrates was, too outspoken, and people used to not like his ideas, because Socrates was thinking way beyond what people used to think that time. So he was killed by administering poison, and he was against the sophist teachings. अभी sophist कौन थे? Sophists were the political teachers. They were teachers who used to teach politics to students, any student, obviously from the rich, to the rich people, students who wanted to join politics. Okay, and sophists कहते थे कि for the biggest virtue is power, but Socrates was of the idea like the biggest virtue, सबसे बड़ा virtue होता है knowledge, it's not power. So इसके basis पे he differed with the Socrates. Likewise, जब भी हम प्लेटो के बारे में आगे देखेंगे, we'll get to know that Plato used to also differ in the same way like his guru Socrates, that knowledge is virtue and not power. Now here comes our first UPSC question. The first UPSC question is knowledge is virtue from math. So इसमें हम क्या लिखेंगे? So you can just use the इसमें हम क्या बोलेंगे? We'll be talking about the theory of knowledge first. First of all, when we write this such type of answers, we'll be having like this answer, this area was being thoroughly discussed by Socrates, where Socrates gave his theory of knowledge, and he said like knowledge is virtue and not power. He chose to differ from the ideas of sophists, and you need to develop a construct wherein how, when, where is this comment? Where was this comment? It was during the Socrates times. What is it emphasizing on? It's the theory of knowledge, basically given by Socrates. Then we come about what is the context? The context is the views of Socrates, which were against the sophist teachings. Then we finally come into the knowledge is virtue and not power. This was the idea which was completely given by Socrates. And then we will just, we will just compare it with a present scenario जहाँ पे हम कहेंगे कि ideally ऐसे सिखाया जाता है. We are being taught that we live in an egalitarian society जहाँ पे equality is all, but again we know कि racial discrimination is there. So ऐसे we just need to link things. We just need to link things with the past, and then we need to give the answers correctly. But currently you won't be able to attempt this question because we are just too early to take up a question right now. As we move ahead, you'll be able to do it.